one of India's most remote tribes. A mountain they revere as a god, and a multinational mining company with its sights set on the mountain's sacred stone. The stage is set for a bitter struggle against the backdrop of eastern India's dramatic landscapes. As the bulldozers draw closer, what will one tribe do to save their forest, their mountains, and their god?
I couldn't believe that this pristine mountain, rich with biodiversity, 64 streams flowing from all over, 2 major rivers, Nagavali and Vansadhara, are going to be destroyed just for extracting bauxite. And a huge refinery sitting there polluting air and water and soil and everything. And somehow, that became everything for me. Not only professionally but more so personally. And for this struggle I have also had a lot of personal challenges in my own life. Hardly there were any people with us. In fact, many people were criticizing. They were saying why we are talking about this saving the Niyamgiri, and it should be pro-development, our thinking, and we should allow bauxite to be extracted and all those things. But there one thing I keep telling everybody, that we are not anti-development, but we cannot go on opening out all green fields on earth before we exhaust all our brown field, means where already mining is happening. We must exhaust all that, rather than just opening up all the pristine mountains and finish everything in one generation. We have some kind of accountability for our future generation, and also we have some kind of responsibility to behave for protection of Mother Earth.
Bidna Capoeira means we want Capoeira.
The Capoeira community, it's all over the world.
You can use Capoeira regardless to age or gender.
Capoeira, it's music, it's dance, it's fun.
Bidna Capoeira works with kids in refugee camps. We're using Capoeira as a psychosocial tool to provide psychosocial well-being in camps and excluded communities around the world.
There are lots of different issues that camps face, ranging from psychological problems like post-traumatic stress disorder. They have issues with violence. When I was in the West Bank, I saw for myself, the communities there were unable to have freedom of movement, so there were checkpoints absolutely everywhere. You can see incredible poverty there. These kind of programs in general, they bring a safe space for children and communities in an otherwise, very, very vulnerable situation.
Sou capoeira, olha, eu sei que sou. Eu vim aqui, foi para jogar a meia lua.
People just love music, so they always come and want to get involved. The children, they do the training, the parents, they're making the music. And then you switch them, so the parents, they do the training and the kids make the music.
You will see children develop and use the confidence and self-belief that they get from an activity which gives them something to say, I'm special and I mean something in a situation where nobody else is going to give them that. We have partnerships and links to UN organisations such as UNICEF, UNHCR, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, which is UNRWA. We've worked with various embassies, for instance, the Brazilian embassy.
Baixa pra deixar minha de Angola, levar uma praça nesse caiçara e camarão de Oxóssi. Então passa.
our vision is to actually make all our projects sustainable. So we want to create very long-term interactive relationships and partnerships with all of our donors. We need to continue to drive the funding because at the end of the day, if you want to go work in a refugee camp, you have to go to a donor.
I was very comfortable in my life as an organisational development practitioner, working in large corporates around the world. We lived in the UK, had a very comfortable, cushy life. And then we made the decision to return to South Africa. And that was a big decision. And it was a decision because my husband and I both felt called to be in this country to make a contribution to South Africa, to make democracy work.
How did Symphonia become?
So when I was in the UK, I read the book, The Art of Possibility. And in the book, Ben and Rosanda talks about their first visit to South Africa. Everywhere they went, people were talking about South Africa. It was like a living, breathing entity, a symphony of voices, Symphonia. Symphonia exists as two entities, a for-profit, Symphonia Leadership Development, and we work with large organisations, help them with leadership development and change. And Symphonia for South Africa, which is a not-for-profit. Our purpose is to both of these organisations work together to create a country that works for all. We're about strengthening the fabric of South African society. I wanted to spend my time making a contribution to education. And so the idea of creating partnerships between school principals and business leaders was born. And I also knew that I couldn't expect anybody else to do it before I've done it myself. So I chose to spend a year being a partner for possibility.
Love that, partner for possibility. How does a partner for possibility or a principal for possibility, how does that exist?
Louise is not here to fix me.
Yes.
But she's here to support me in whatever venture or endeavor we both identify will take the school forward, will ensure that our learners reach their full potential.
People in the community said that parents would drop their kids off in grade 1 and pick them up in grade 7. Now that's not good enough. We need far more involvement.
Now,
We have a job.
The old story was that the parents or the adults in the lives of our children at Capoeira Primary School are not involved in the education. And so we tested that to see, is that true? And so now we have a new story in the sense that more and more parents or adults are involved in the lives of their children.
And so this becomes a place for citizens who all have an equal contribution to make, and it's so much more rewarding.
She is really a remarkable South African citizen.
We need people like you, Louise.